Hi, my name is Nicole Lentz. I am a Master of Education student here at National University, and today I will be presenting my artifact analysis. The Master of Education program has identified 4 learning outcomes, also referred to as PLOs, that align with students' plan of study. This slide shows my personal plan of study as it pertains to the PLOs. Now I will provide further insight into the PLOs by defining each. PLO number 1 states, integrate advanced approaches to instruction, assessment, and learning using digital tools and skills. PLO number 2 states, design learning experiences that include learner characteristics, principles of customized learning, and assessment as learning. PLO number 3 states, apply practitioner research methods to study and inform instruction in traditional and digital learning environments. Lastly, PLO number 4 states, develop reflective practices that are grounded in current learning science research, professional ethics, and include pathways to continuous growth. I will now be presenting my artifacts. I will describe them, assign each an introductory, developing, and/or mastery level of experience, as well as align it to a specific PLO. My first artifact is from the course MAE 610, which was Plan of Study and Practitioner Research. The artifact was the Source Practitioner Research Study. The Source Practitioner Research Study consisted of a review and analysis of a peer-reviewed research study that addresses the relationship between the implementation of direct instruction-based teaching of social-emotional skills and the measurement of maladaptive behaviors for elementary school learners. This assignment reflected an I for introductory experience. The Source Practitioner Research aligned with PLO number 3. This is because the assignment enabled me to develop a research question based on my plan of study emphasis and use research methods such as methods, data, and findings to back as well as inform my future instruction. My next artifact is from the course ITL 604, Learners and Learning 1, and is a strategies and support identification. For this artifact, individualized supports and strategies were created for focus students using background information and assessment data in reading, writing, and speaking and listening. I identified this assignment as both an introductory and developing experience, perhaps somewhere in between. The strategies and support identification aligned with PLO number 2. This was because the individualized nature of the artifact. The strategies and supports considered essential factors such as language, prior knowledge, culture, funds of knowledge, and developmental circumstances to enhance learning. The next artifact is from the course ITL 606, Learners and Learning 2, and is an instructional approach to teaching. The instructional support to teaching was an in-depth lesson plan created to address a California state standard emphasizing students' assets and learning needs. The lesson heavily considered prior knowledge, language, culture, behavior, instructional strategies, learning environments, and built on prior experiences. This assignment reflected an M for mastery experience. The instructional support to teaching aligned with PLO number 2. The artifact included a lesson plan that identified the specific learning needs of students. It was culturally responsive, considered language by incorporating visuals and AAC or communication devices. It built on what students knew and provided strategies that enhanced overall learning. The next artifact is a learning map from ITL 608, Design and Process of Teaching. A detailed learning map was created that included key components that considered the assets and needs of students. The learning map unpacked California state and ELD standards in an effort to foster intentionality in instructional strategies, supports, tools and resources, learning environments, targets, and measures of understanding. Activities were developed that emphasized student engagement and enhanced learning. This was an eye for introductory experience. The learning map aligned with PLO number 1. The instruction outlined in the learning map included videos and digital visuals to deepen student understanding. Digital applications and tools were used to assess student knowledge, as well as AAC devices for students who are nonverbal, and enhanced overall learning. The next artifact is from SED 607, Language and Literacy Basics. It is another learning map. A learning map was designed to address the reading needs of focus students. Present levels were required in order to develop IEP goals aligned with California state reading standards. The learning map included a small group lesson, an activity that addressed specific student learning targets using meaningful resources and strategies. This artifact reflected a D for developing experience. The learning map aligned with PLO number 3, as it relied heavily on data to analyze present levels to in turn develop IEP goals and inform instructional grouping. The strategies mentioned are research-based and are known to be effective in their implementation, such as the Read Naturally program, sand writing, shaving cream writing, sky writing, Play-Doh word sound building, and arm and finger tapping. The next artifact is an interactive lesson from ITL 516, the course Mathematics Integrative Design. An interactive lesson was developed that aligned a California state math standard regarding shapes to a physical education standard. The lesson was in digital format, however, included tangibles and manipulatives, visuals, non-digital activities, and movements. The interactive lesson represented both a developing and mastery experience. The interactive lesson aligned with PLO number 1. The lesson was digital and included visuals, videos, and games that were technology-centered to enhance learning and increase engagement. The next artifact is from SED 610, Advanced Behavioral Supports and SEL, and it is a positive behavior support plan. The Positive Behavior Support Plan enables educators and team members to deepen their understanding of student behaviors in order to address and reduce those that impede learning. The plan was a D for developing experience. The Positive Behavior Support Plan aligned with PLO number 4. The strategies highlighted in the plan were research-based. They reflected best practices as they were student-centered, individualized, and based on specific needs per data. It fostered continuous individual growth. It used SEL strategies, replacement behaviors, coping mechanisms, and other communication avenues. The next artifact was entitled Analyzing and Sharing Data with the IEP Team from the course MMS 617, An Introduction to Assessment, Collaboration, and Instruction. A WJIV score report in the areas of ELA and math was given to create a professional report to deliver to an IEP team. The data in the report was analyzed, interpreted, and summarized as a means to relay student academic achievement. A visual graph of the scores was provided to deepen understanding of student performance. Data and scores were used to develop and propose IEP goals aligned to California state standards. The artifact reflected an eye for introductory experience. The analyzing and sharing data with the IEP team artifact aligned with PLO number 4. The artifact consisted of standardized assessment data rooted in research. The data enabled the identification of strengths and deficits to in turn create IEP goals that support students in achieving individualized progress and growth. This artifact is a comprehensive case study profile from the course MMS 620, Assessment and Differentiation for Mild Moderate Support Needs. A comprehensive student profile was created for a focus student. The profile included essential information such as qualifying disability, background information, fine and gross motor functioning, behavior, executive functioning, communication, academic achievement, and progress. The information was then used to provide recommendations. Curriculum-based measures were created and implemented in reading and math. This particular data was used to propose and draft IEP goals to address the focus students' needs. The artifact represented an M for mastery experience. The comprehensive case study profile aligned with PLO number 4. The profile was data-driven and emphasized the integrity of assessment protocols and best practices to ensure reliability and validity of data. The developed IEP goals were needs-based to support continuous student growth. The last artifact was a practitioner research proposal from MAE 670, Applied Research and Customized Study. Data and findings obtained from a research study review regarding the relationship between the implementation of direct instruction-based teaching of social emotional skills and the measurement of maladaptive behaviors for elementary school learners were analyzed to develop a research study proposal. The components included a timeline, participants, methods and procedures, and measures that would develop further research. The proposal was assigned an M for mastery experience. The practitioner research proposal aligned with PLO number 3. The proposal was based on a prior formulated research question based on my plan of study emphasis. It was rooted in research and considered the findings of 5 research studies to create a proposal for further research. The findings would ultimately inform future instruction. That concludes my presentation. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors.